What's happening? What's happening, SteelerNation? Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one, and I'm sure you guys are gonna entertain me. But welcome to the latest episode, latest edition of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, spelled SimFBallCritic, live from the Steel Basement. What is happening, good people? Now, let me throw the number up on the screen very quick and very often because I am looking forward to phone calls. 619-924-0818. Again, 619-924-0818. And I look forward to it. This should be an interesting, very interesting show. I welcome all of you, and I'm going to look forward to getting into the details because like you guys saw, couldn't do my normal after play video because I went to the game, and boy, what a mess. Literally and figuratively. What a mess. The gameplay, the weather. I mean, what a mess of a game, man. And yeah, I feel like the two times that I've gone to a game this year, the Steelers have lost. So I don't know if it's my jinx or what have you, but anyway, let's get to it, man. Let's say what's up and hello to the early commenters, and then I got a lot to get into, and I'm gonna get to it with a little bit of time because I got to get to these phone calls, man. Listen, first and foremost, what's up? My good brother Tony in the building. He says, funny caption. Yeah, man. Yeah. They turned to a gambling son of a Mitch. Yes, and I'm going to explain that title. Hello, Lanisha. What's happening, Lanisha? Miss Lady, how you doing, Lanisha? Appreciate you coming through. I love the lovely ladies of SteelerNation, man, because, again, they are about their football. They know their stuff, and they come hang out with us. So, fellas, make sure y'all say hello properly to the ladies, each and every lady in the chat, and lay out the red carpet for them. I see another wonderful lady of SteelerNation, Destiny, in the building. What's up, Destiny? Y Diggy, Nathan Manco, Joshua Shields. Who else we got up in here, man? Said Y Diggy already, right? Steelberg. Gavin Carr, D-Mac, 740. Hello, another lovely lady of the chat, Sade. What's up, Sade? How you doing? Hoping you're having a wonderful evening. Say hello, fellas. Mark Cunningham. Mark Malone. There goes Mark. What's up, Mark? I already know I knew he was going at Tomlin early and often. I got something I'm going to play for you guys too shortly. Give me a moment when I talk about Tomlin. Leonard Green. Who else? BQ412. Brent Fox, my man. What's up, Brent? Who else is up in here? My good buddy. Aries Brethren. My man Kenyon in the building, man. Rajon39. Mr. Malvo. What it do? Hey, Debbie, the leading lady, man, of the SteelerNation. Ladies of SteelerNation. The ladies of the steel table when they came on. We always call Debbie the ring leader. What's up, Debbie? Glad to see you. Happy I'm able to see your name before I get going so I can give you your proper hello. Vista Light, Kev So Nice, and I'll say one or two more, man, and then I'm going to jump right in because, like I said, I got a lot to get into, man, and not a lot of time. Anybody else really quick that I missed? I think that's about it. All right, so we'll get to it. So, first, let me kind of just go through all of the problems with this game. These are all the things I noted, and I'm going to kind of piece them together, and I'm just going to throw them out there. These were the things that I noted while at the game, because I don't want to spend so much time on that. And hopefully, I hope you all saw my video last night. I did a pre-recorded video in regards to Kenny Pickett, and I'm going to touch on that tonight here as well, but I didn't want to take everything away from tonight's show just talking about that. So I did an independent video, but I am going to say a little bit of it here because I know some of you guys don't see every video, and we may have newcomers obviously watching the live stream. But here, basically all of the notes that I took on phone while I'm sitting there trying to enjoy the game with my wife and my son and, fans all around. Steelers unable to finish drives. It's just that simple on offense. Stupid penalties by the Steelers. Both sides of the ball. I mean, especially Miles Killebrew. What was he doing? This is a captain. What was he doing? Steelers called for illegal formation twice. What's going on? Steelers called for a late timeout for getting guys on the field late. What is that? There was one specifically first drive of the second half for the Steelers, and you see Chooks running out there. You see Najee and others like, yo, we're missing people. And here comes Chooks trotting out there. And see, I don't know where the blame lies. I know people are always going to attack the head man. That's how it works in any organization. But I'm telling you, some of this stuff to me, man, it is players as well as positional coaches and this, that, and the third. And you can blame everybody. You can blame Tomlin all the way down. But I'm going to get into that in just a moment as far as Tomlin. I'm going to be extremely brief with Tomlin. Just timeouts, man, due to personnel. I just talked about that. I got a couple office visits, and I'm going to get to those in a moment. Chris Boswell missing a kick. Listen, that's when you knew it was bad. You knew it was bad when Boswell missed that kick. At the time that he missed it, I mean, pretty much the game was pretty much over anyway. I saw some people say, well, why didn't they go for it? Where if you remember what the score was at that time, I can't remember it off the top of the head, but I know that if they would have gotten a 3, let me see if I can. Yeah, it must have been when they had 17, right? Because it was 17-3. If you get 6 there, right? If you go 17-6, then it's pretty much an 11-point game. And then, you can do the math from there. The Steelers are basically at that point, saying that, okay, we'll get the ball back, get a touchdown, go for a 2 to tie it up. That's how that math works. So I get some people saying, oh, man, you're down 17-3. Why attempt the field goal in that moment? But that's why you do it. At that point, you're behind and you have to get all points and you have to go through the calculations, right? Of, okay, where are we strategically, when to go for 2, when not to go for 2, when to take the field goal and all of that kind of jazz. That was one of those moments. Again, it sounds like a big gap, but 17-3, if you get the field goal, it's 17-6. That's an 11-point game, still a 2-possession game, but now you need a field goal and a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. You're just trying to get points on the board at that point. To think that the Steelers offense was going to convert, that's even thinking that going for it would have did anything is wishful thinking. I'm pulling up the stats right now, but guys, another place where we lost this game, defensively, man, the Steelers could not get off the field on third down. I mean, it was upsetting to watch. Let me give you those percentages. And it felt so much worse, live being at the game. Man, the Cardinals were 58% on third down. And if I'm not mistaken, it was said, I didn't confirm it myself, but I trust the research, it was said that and actually I sat right there and saw it. I didn't count it, but it felt like that on that 99-yard drive. They converted 5 third downs. I got so much to say about that drive. Steelers put a good drive together. You get down to an end goal situation. It's 4th and goal from the 1, and you don't punch it in. That's indicative of what this offense has been this whole season. Right? Because let me tell you all the problems, or one of the problems that I had about the call on 4th and 1. Okay, run the football. The Steelers have been running the football very well. They ran the football pretty good in that game, if I'm not mistaken. Let me relook at the stats here. As far as running the football, I mean, Jaylen Warren still had an excellent percentage. This dude was 9 carries for 59 yards, 6.6. Najee Harris, 16 carries for 63 yards, slightly under 4 per, but they ran the football. They were 130 yards on the ground. The Steelers had a lot of success running the football. right? So I understand you're going to run it on 4th and 1, but here's my problem. Everybody in the world knows that you're probably going to run it because they don't have the potent passing offense. They don't have a Patrick Mahomes back there that's going to dance around, buy some time, and make a play. They don't have a Josh Allen. And you can say that about a few other quarterbacks, but I'm just talking about these quarterbacks that we've all seen. I don't know why I went out of focus right there. Hold on, guys. Let me let the camera get back in focus. I don't know what happened there. I'm out of focus for some reason, but hold on. Let me see if I can fix it. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to compare our quarterback situation to any of those guys. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying. Those guys that can create. So you probably know that the Pittsburgh Steelers are not putting the ball in the air on 4th and goal. I get it. But if you're going to run it, and I know a lot of times I say, why don't we spread teams out and try to run? But down there in that area, if you know everybody in the world knows you're going to run, you might as well just go beef on beef, mano a mano. And I mean, there's plenty of things you could have done. You could have ran out of a traditional under the center, right? And maybe that gives Najee a little more, head start, if you will, instead of coming from the side on like a inside zone out of shotgun. You could have run, how about bringing Jaylen Warren in at fullback and doing the, the handoff to the fullback. Jaylen Warren, low vicinity of, his low, what's the word I'm looking for? His low, I can't remember what I'm trying to say. Him being centered to the ground. I'm drawing a blank right now, but him being squattier, his, stocky build and quickness, a little more shifty. He may have been able to find a crease and slide in there. That's down. Yeah, leverage. That wasn't the word I was looking for, Steel City, but same difference. I think I was saying low center of gravity. That's what I think I was trying to say. Yeah, there you go. BQ 412. We got it at the same time. Yeah, man, like that might have been a better option. The up back, because that's a shorter distance, but he still can get a head start. What about a quarterback sneak? And I know some people are saying, oh, well, they probably didn't do that maybe because Kenny got hurt. Yeah, I get that, but Mitch Trubisky can sneak it, and Mitch Trubisky is a bigger dude. He's big. Pause. He's a bigger guy, as far as his frame. And he's been a mobile quarterback in his career, so he should be okay with handling the ball. I just did not like the call, guys. I just didn't. I did not like that shotgun run. I've heard others say they didn't have a problem with it because we were running the ball. Okay, that's fair. That's a fair point too. Me personally, I just didn't like, if you're going to run anyway, just run it. Get right in their face and run it. You know what I'm saying? Or what about that other team in Pennsylvania? That would they do that little tush push? The brotherly shove? Can we adopt that with a big frame quarterback and Mitch Trubisky? I'm just saying, it's multiple things that we could have done if we were going to run anyway. Hey, I might have even been okay with Jaylen Warren, not Najee. I might have been okay with lining up Najee. Maybe they could have ran like a pro set side by side, right? And a fake handoff to Najee, pitch out to Warren, because Warren may be shifty enough to get there. I would have even been cool with that. And of course the backlash, people probably would have said, oh man, I ain't like us running wide. Okay, but I'm just saying, I may have liked that better, knowing that this dude might find the end zone because of his quickness or what have you. Even if you run wide, you fake it like you're going short. Just not a straight up inside zone. I just didn't like the call, man. Yo, Brent, shout outs, round of applause to Brent Fox comment, man. He says, dad joke. I want the 2023 Steelers to be my pallbearers at my funeral so they can let me down one last time. Man, that is a classic joke right there. Shout outs to Brent also, man, being a member of the channel for 26 months, it says there. I appreciate you. Before I get to Tomlin and before I get to the main course, main meat and potatoes, also, man, just on that 99-yard drive, it really exposed our inside linebacker position, which obviously we're down Cole Holcomb, we're down Quan Alexander. At that point, we were down and Landon Roberts. I mean, we really could not afford to lose those guys. And it's funny, Kenyon and I both said that Michael Walker showed some pass coverage ability in the prior game where they exposed that kid bad. They exposed Walker, which for those that don't know, number 38, badly in this game. And McBride just gave him that work. And it's funny, man, because the Cardinals did what any competent offense would do. And I'm not taking shots at our offense. I'm just saying in general, you see something that works, stick to it. He could not cover him. I do wonder why the Steelers didn't make a better adjustment. Maybe rotate Minka on him or what have you. I will say this. I didn't think about this point. Shout outs to Dave and Alex on the Terrible Podcast. They said maybe it's because Minka's hand was broken. They didn't want to put him in that type of scenario. Possible. It's possible. I don't know. But I just wish there was something else we could have done to just interrupt the connection between Kyler Murray and McBride, man. It was bad. It was a bad thing to watch. I mean, to be in that stadium and to hear the crowd just, collective letdown on each one of them third downs, man. It was a pitiful effort, man, period, by the offense. They just stalled out after that first drive. And again, they continued to run the ball well. And it just seems like at times, some of that old school, old Matt Canada playbook showed up. And when I don't mean the literal playbook, I'm talking about his plan, like his script. It seemed like some of his script was infused in this game. They kept on running that pitch out to Najee Harris, which Najee got some yards on a couple of them, but it's like, why we keep running the same thing? I mean, we were having so much success off the tackles. If you're going to stick to something, and don't get me wrong, Jaylen Warren had a couple pitch outs too, but Najee, in my opinion, even watching it in the stadium, Najee is only going to get free on one or two of those. He's not the guy that's going to make a lot happen when you're putting him on the edge. That's just my opinion, just watching the type of back and the style of back that he is. Najee is not going to consistently give you positive yards on a toss or pitch out. It's just not going to happen, in my opinion. Yeah, Steel City, right? It's the same playbook. Yeah, man, Warren needs to be the guy that's always running those. Anything out on the edge, I'm gonna just be honest and say what my eyes tell me and has been telling me this whole season. Najee might get one or two here and there, but anything out on the edge, a toss, a sweep, a pitch out, even a screen out on the edge needs to go to Jaylen Warren. Because Jaylen Warren is shifty enough and he's a one-cut type of guy. He gets where he's going just like that. He a lot of times will make something out of nothing. Or he will turn a 3-yard loss into a 2-yard gain because he's just quicker. And, it's just the way he runs. That's not Najee. Najee is more of a lumbering runner. Najee can make a few moves here and there, but he has to get going. If you're asking Najee to do it from standstill, it ain't going to happen. That ain't his game. So I just didn't like seeing that over and over and over. Like, come on, man. And let me get to the other elephant in the room. Kenny Pickett. Before I get to you, Kenny Pickett, can you ask your center to come on into the office? No, I didn't forget. I didn't get y'all Sunday, but I'm getting you now. So No, don't go nowhere, Kenneth. Hey, Kenneth, don't go nowhere. Stay right there. Just send Mason Cole in first. Mason Cole. It almost pains me to get on you because of your first name. You know, my son's name is Mason. So I'm quite fond of it. But Mason Cole, I'm not too fond of right now. Somehow, Mr. Cole, you have ducked the name snatching. Somehow you've done it. You almost got away with it. What is this, week 13? You almost got through the season without getting your name snatched. But guess what's happening to you right now tonight? Run that name, brother. You are number 61 for right now. I don't know if you're going to earn it back. I've been seeing it all season. The audience here has been seeing it as well. We've been seeing these low snaps. We've been seeing these bad snaps. Quarterbacks have kind of bailed you out. But it came to a head Sunday. First drive. The first drive, it was a low snap to Kenny Pickett on the first drive. Kenny just happened to catch it. Then you throw one even worse to Trubisky, and oh God. Trubisky. And let me just say this as an aside, Mason Cole. Did y'all see how Trubisky looked as he got hit and fell? Boy, looked like a rag doll. Yo, Trubisky looked crazy when he got hit, man. Why did Cameron keep doing that, man? That was funny. That, man, sidebar, SteelerNation, that was hilarious. But 61, see, you almost slipped me again. Almost called you your name. Bruh, you's got to go. You played well last year, but even last year there was some errant snaps. Because I remember telling Kenyon and Tony, hey man, he kind of looking like, reminded me of Kendrick Green and Marquise Pouncey a little bit with those snaps. What's going on with that? But he improved it. You improved it last year down the stretch, but you looking crazy this year. I've been seeing it all season, and I saw it in this last game, and you are now number 61. Goodbye. Look, you're trying to run. Kenneth, what? Send Kenneth in here. Kenneth Pickett. This is a tough situation here for me right now. I have been saying to the SteelerNation audience that we have to be patient with you. I've been saying it. I don't understand what's happening, guys, with this camera. I don't know what the deal is. But Kenneth, I have been telling the good people that we needed to be patient with you. Let me just say this before I let you out of this office, because this is not a very long visit. Sir, as of right now, I might be out on you as being the guy. Here's a caveat. I'm going to say as of right now. Because right now, what you have to do, you're going to have to prove it to me, sir. You're going to have to prove it to me. Hold on, guys. Let me see what's happening with this camera. Hold on. Maybe I got to sit a little closer. You're going to have to prove it to me, Mr. Pickett. Kenneth, right now, I'm out on you, bro. I think I'm out on you. I'm out on you being the guy right now. I'll still will give you time next year with the new OC, but right now, I think you really have to prove it to me. You're in my prove it bucket right now. I don't know if you have it or you don't, because I've been trying to hold you down. I've been trying to say be patient, but it's hard for me to be patient when I'm seeing the exact same issues. Accuracy is one thing. Tendencies is another. And sir, there were so many times in this game, in the little amount of time you were in there, that you missed clear, wide open people. Allen Robinson came open on that play down the stretch. And actually, I'm not even going to get into that because I'm going to tell the lovely fans that. But Kenneth, I just want you to know that. You're in my prove it bucket now. Until you prove it, right now, today, I don't think you're it. You can prove me wrong. We'll see. But right now, I don't have a lot of high hopes for you, Mr. Pickett. I just don't, because, again, I got to see something week to week. And all I've seen week to week is you having the same problem, seeing the field. You don't see it. Locking in on one target to not see the field. That's what you do. You sense pressure and you do this same spin out to your right. Sometimes spin right into a sack. This has been a constant. Happened last year and it's happening now. And I understand, I will stick by this too. Matt Canada didn't have the best offense to put you in the best positions, but I still can evaluate you, period, how you have looked and played. I can see thought process. I can see that, offensive coordinator or not. I can see what you're thinking and what you're missing. So again, I will say right now, as of today, I don't think you're it, and you're going to have to prove me wrong. Good day, sir. Hope you heal up, and good luck to you. Now, I want to address you guys really quickly before I get into Mitch Trubisky. Some of you are going to say, I already know it, probably already in the chat. Oh, man, see, I told you this when we drafted him. Oh, man, see, I told you that. Let me explain something to y'all. Hold on, we got a donation. Round of applause to my good brother, Tony. Appreciate that, brother. Tony makes a good point. He says, until we can see him with another OC, he might be number 8 right now. That's a fact. And see, it's a difference from what some of you guys are saying. I'm saying I'm out on him right now. I don't know if it will change. I don't know if Kenny Pickett will get any better. And at the point now where he has to prove it to me. And listen, for some of you guys who are still have high hopes on Kenny Pickett, don't lose that. This is just my opinion. It's just stuff that I'm seeing, man, that's very concerning. You guys that are going to see the All-22, I'm really going to show y'all a few plays again. Think about it. Kenny he only played basically the first half. I'm going to show you at least 4 opportunities that just explains his game in a nutshell. It's bad. It's very bad. Very bad. And that's been a constant, man. So it's hard for me to continue to think he's going to get better. Played better against Cincinnati. Sure he did. But it's just his tendencies are still the same. But I want to get back to what I was going to say to you guys. I don't care how fast some of you feel like you saw it, and it's not about me being right or wrong. I don't approach it like that. And one thing that y'all got to understand, you're never going to change my process. If I say it takes me X amount of time to see this or see that, I'm looking for certain things, that's what it is. Even if I'm the only one on the island, I'm comfortable in my skin to be the only one on the island. To say, nah, I feel like this. 30 other people say, nah, I feel differently. I still will stick to nah, this is how I feel. I go through my own process. And then when I'm done with my process, then I come out and give my opinion. So Doesn't matter to me that some people are going to say, I knew that when we drafted him. Okay, good for you. Doesn't matter that some people are going to say it about him throwing interceptions early last season. Okay, that's fine. He's a rookie. Played better down the stretch. Okay, he might have a little something here. That was my process. It doesn't matter that some of you guys didn't believe in seeing the improvement that he showed in preseason. I thought I saw improvement. And I've continued to ride with him, and I've been watching for specific behaviors, and it's continuing. And now I'm just like, man, I don't think it's going to change. It's week 13. Granted, he's not going to play the next couple of weeks, but through 13 games, the tendencies were still there. So the only last gasp that I would give him is, let's see what he does with a new OC. That's the only last hope he has. But like I said, y'all are not going to change my process. So, you know, if you want to say, oh, I told you, Sim told you, you can play the told you so all you want. That don't matter to me because what you say or what you think is not going to change how I operate. I'll respect it, but it's not going to make me change the way I view things, in my opinion, nor should mine do that to you. But that's where I'm at with Kenny, man. It's bad, man. Listen, go back and look at the play. It was 2nd and 3. This was right before the first bobbled snap. 2nd and 3. Najee Harris is wide. You can't get more wide open than that in the flat. I mean, butt naked open. Najee's so open, he basically backpedaling to the first down. I looked at the all 22. I even showed my wife last night. I said, babe, look at this. That's 15 yards. It was roughly 15 yards between Najee and the first defender. Kenny's looking that direction and he never sees him. That's proof that he locks on his target. What did you hear that? What team was that said, well, we knew all we had to do was get him off his first read? Teams know that about him. The play when the ball got popped up in the air, when we were down in the red zone. He's staring Freiermuth down the whole time. The guy who's playing Freiermuth has inside position. He's not open. Like, he's not open. But Kenny just stares at him like this, gazing in his eyes. Stares at him. Pressure comes. Kenny tries to throw it. So he's going to throw it to Freiermuth, who's not open. Ball gets knocked up. But if you look at the play, Allen Robinson comes open. I looked at it from the end zone view, and actually, I think they even showed that to you guys on the game. I think they showed the end zone view during the game. Allen Robinson is right there. And again, I don't know if he's going to get it to Allen Robinson, but it's the fact that he locks on so long. That should have been a quick, okay, I'm reading this, let me come back. And you, boom. But I'll give you one better than that. Remember the play when they blitzed Kenny Pickett? 2 guys basically came free. And I showed Kenyon and Tony and my cousin Floyd this. I sent them a quick snapshot of it. Dog, Freiermuth is wide open in the middle of the field, and he's looking that direction. All he has to do is throw the ball to where Freiermuth is going. That's what I would be talking about when I say throwing with anticipation. Wait till I show some of you guys the play. He's wide open. Y'all might have even saw it on the TV tape. Just think about that blitz when the 2 guys came from the right. First of all, he doesn't read any of that. He don't feel none of that pressure out of his peripheral. I mean, he's looking straight. So I can see my wall over there out of my peripherals. So I would imagine if I was playing quarterback, I could see these guys coming right at me. Then he bails to his right and tries to throw it to Jalen Warren. And I think that was the one when the ball was behind him or whatever. But fellas, ladies, I'm telling y'all, on that play, and I think they definitely showed the replay of that one during the game because I saw that before I actually got to all 22. And they showed the end zone view. Muth is wide open. And he's looking at him. That's a problem. And there's others. There's more that I'm going to show. Right before the 4th and 1, the play where he got hurt on, Calvin Austin's open. But he doesn't see the field. So I've seen this too long now, man. Listen, do I think the kid has talent? Maybe. I just don't know if he's ever going to cultivate it, man. I don't, because I'm seeing the same trend too much. But like I said, I'm not completely flushing him down the toilet or throwing him out with the bathwater until I see how he performs with another OC. But I'm just looking at the time here. It's bad, bro. It's really bad how he's playing. Round of applause, man, to see Antoine Hill. Appreciate the donation. He says, I'm with you, Sim. Seems like KP isn't processing NFL game speed like Purdy. He's like 3 steps behind. Yeah, it's bad. And again, I hate to compare other quarterbacks, but man, did y'all see what that boy Browning did last night? I don't think we beat Cincinnati now. I'm not confident that we beat New England. New England got defense. They held the Kellen Moore offense to 6 points. We can't score. That's the reason why the Steelers lost this game. You guys can, and I was going to play a clip, man. Let me play a little piece of it. And I'm sorry, phone calls, man. I'm going to play a little piece of it. I'm going to play it really quick. And I'm just going to have a quick comment about it, and then we'll get out of here. Let me play a little piece of this.
The Steelers coming off of a dreadful home loss to Arizona. On the previous show, Albert, I pointed out that's what got Mike McCarthy got in Green Bay, right? After a long time, sorry, we know you got a trophy in the case. You've been here a while. Things aren't going as well anymore or as consistently great as they used to be. You lost to Arizona at home. Fans want you out. And is there any chance? Because Steeler fans are just beating drums about getting rid of Tomlin. Every single time I hear that, I come back here, Albert, and I'm like, you're out of your minds, okay? Yep. And then my Twitter feed right now, and I know that shouldn't be a metric, it's lit with Steeler fans saying, you don't know what you're talking about. We used to be in the AFC Championship game every 4 years. It's now been 12. It's blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So what do you give me on the temperature there?
I would agree with you. I would agree with you that Twitter is the wrong place to
exactly or X
anything. Right. The factory of negativity.
But it's nonstop. I mean, it's truly, and I might get some phone calls today too.
I don't think they'd fire Tomlin.
Ever.
Let's start there.
Right.
But
let me say this. And like I said, I'm done having the Tomlin conversation because I don't care, man. I don't care. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you guys think. And I say that respectfully. But everyone around the NFL has the same thought process as Rich Eisen, Albert Bree. I mean, plenty of people said that today. Is it wrong for you guys, the fans, to want another coach after now being the 17th season? No, it's not. It's not. So there's nothing wrong with you as a person saying after 17 years, I want somebody else. Okay. I'm not going to fight that. I'm not going to disagree with anything you say about Tomlin. That's your personal opinion. The only thing I would say, though, is I think the issues are way deeper than just the head coach. I don't think New England is 2-10 because for some reason Bill Belichick is all of a sudden can't coach anymore. So I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying that's always my stance. So you guys don't have to worry about how I feel about Tomlin or any other coach. That's my stance for any NFL coach. I think it's very easy to see who's a bad coach and who's not. I don't believe it to be that Tomlin is a bad coach, but that's my opinion. Some things just happen. I mean, we saw another beloved coach, Bill Cowher. We saw him lose some bad games too, and lose to some subpar teams as well. It's just, I think you guys just have fatigue because it's been 17 seasons. Honestly, I think that's really what it is. Some people don't like Tomlin for personal reasons, but I'm talking just from a football Steeler fan perspective. That's what it is. So you're not going to hear me argue or debate you guys about that. It's fatigue. Understandable. But I just continue to think that I don't think largely the organization and the NFL views it like that. The Rooneys view it like that. Because I'm going to be honest with you, man. Walking in that game, I was telling my wife, she was like, man, it's always crazy to see how many people are here and feel the energy. I said, this is the reason why I said these exact words. This is what I tell a lot of people on the show, is we're worrying about Super Bowls and playoffs. We should be. We're fans. I said, but you see what's going on in here? You see how many people are here? This is what organizations worry about. For 17 years now, this organization has been relevant. That brings in the money. At the end of the day, of course, every organization wants Super Bowls. But let me tell y'all another secret. The Pittsburgh Steelers have 6 of them. 6. Sure, they would want 7, but they have 6. So if I'm an owner, as much as I want a Super Bowl and I understand that it's hard to come by, as long as them ching, 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 ching is ringing up and I have a sustainable organization that's doing that, I've been lucky enough to have a coach that's kept us in the conversation for better or worse. And it gives us fans, me included, the false hope that they're going to do something. Tomlin has done that. Hate him or love him. That's all I'm saying. So that's why y'all don't hear me go in on the fire Tomlin bit, because I understand the business too. That's all. That's all. I told y'all months ago, if he's done after his 17th or more than likely the 18th season, I'm not going to cry about that. It's a long time. You know, I'm just trying to give some perspective, man. That's all. Oh, wow. Steelers lead. Round of applause for the donation. Appreciate it. Boy, it felt crazy out there, man, with all them delays. Because it felt worse because you had the sense that the Steelers were not going to win. I contemplated twice leaving the game early, and I'll tell you all a secret. I did leave the game early. We left the game at about the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter. After it was the one time that time before the last time that he got the ball and they didn't move it. I was like, man, let's go. Because, you know, for me, it's a 3-hour ride. And it's like the traffic is going to be crazy. It was still raining, so we tried to get a head start on it. Because, I mean, those delays delayed everything for us. It's a 3-hour ride. So I'm like, I'm out, man. There's no more gasp of hope because at that time they didn't do anything with the ball. And then, you know, as we're walking out, we saw James Conner scored again. I was happy in a way because he's on my fantasy. I'm just being honest. I mean, I say, hey, if we lose it, at least James is gonna. And funny thing is, I wasn't even going to play Conner because I thought we was going to stop the run, which we did early in the game. But I didn't even see the Deontay touchdown. And let me just say this too. I don't care about the celebration. Yeah, the optics is bad, but who cares? Who cares? Is that what we worrying about? Who cares? Yeah, Steel City. I had to go, man. I tried, and it was cold, and I got my wife and my son. I won't going to, put them through that. It was like, let's just go ahead and get out of here. Because y'all know me. Normally, if we getting blown out 50-0, I still watch. But in that scenario, with that the delay pretty much backed us up 2 hours. So in that scenario, I was like, man, I'm done. Yeah, my bad, guys. I just had a lot to say. And yeah, there's not going to be a ton of time for phone calls, but I promise I'm going to try to get through these. And last thing I'm going to say, I put Mitch, kind of being funny, haha, tongue in cheek or whatever in the title. But yeah, we dealing with gambling Mitch. And the first thing I just heard him say was, yeah, I got to protect the ball, but I'm going to take risk. So he basically telling us he going to throw a pick. I got to protect the ball, but hey, I'm going to take the risk. We got to push this ball downfield, which I respect that. But it's like, I just don't feel good about anything right now. I'll talk more about it tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'll do the before play show because it's a short week and I'll just talk Patriots, Steelers. But Hey, the Steelers are still 5th in the playoff race somehow, with Cleveland choking it away. But what difference does it make? Plain and simple, guys. I know we're upset. You know, y'all should have heard some of the people on the little light rail train that I ride to the garage after the game. I mean, people going off. But I'm going to ask y'all one serious question. What have y'all seen this season to make y'all think that the Steelers are going to go in and win any game? Think about that. What gives you the confidence in the offense? Simple and plain, they do not score points. Remember when we was 6-3 and we was all saying how? They don't score no points. Cincinnati scored 34 points last night with Browning. Boy had the game of his life. We haven't sniffed 30 points. And I ain't even worrying about that. We haven't sniffed really 25. We haven't sniffed a consistent 24. 21 even, consistent. So, yeah, we're upset that they lost. But if you be real with yourself, I've been telling y'all for weeks, they're fool's gold. But yeah, I'm angry too as a fan, but I understand, man. It's you know. All right, let's get through some of these calls, man. I'll give y'all a little bit of time, but guys, be quick. Please be quick so I can get through as many as possible. We got about 7 in the queue right now. First up, area code 443. What you got for us?
What's good, Sim? Hello to all the ladies in the chat. Hope everybody had a good holiday so far. Real quick, man, I'll try to get off your line. I appreciate you taking my call. I seen one of the gentlemen in the chat. I think his name is David Jones Jr. He mentioned that Tomlin don't have a coaching tree. I just want to ask a question, like, what does that mean? What does that prove? And I'm asking that question because everybody thinks Bill Belichick is the greatest, right? What did Bill Belichick's tree do? Lost everywhere they went. And then a couple of them tucked their tails and ran back to New England, and they still losing. So that comment was kind of, so I had to say something about that. Pat Fryermuth said, the Steelers offense keep making basic mistakes. It's frustrating. We had the same formations for 3 years and the same name for 3 years.
Yeah.
That's horrible, man. That's horrible. And what that says is, yep, Tomlin, you can blame Tomlin because he's the coach, but Tomlin ain't going nowhere, so everybody just get over it. But that also points to the position coaches. TA on defense as well, using Minka wrong. Pat Meyer with the offensive line. So it's a lot going on with that team. But yeah, that's it, so man. I'll get off your line, man. I appreciate you taking my call, homie.
Man, you're very welcome. I appreciate the call, and I'm gonna be brief in my responses. That's like I said, man. You know, if like Tomlin would say, nameless gray faces. Put a nameless gray face on the head coach. And this is how I view it. It's just how I view it. I don't put everything on the head coach. That's just me. It doesn't matter that it's Mike Tomlin. That's just how I see it. Everything is not just the head coach. No. And Tomlin's philosophy is he allows his coaches to coach. I mean, me personally, again, I have no way of knowing if it was really Tomlin or if it was the organization, but the fact that they moved on from Matt Canada kind of showed you, all right, it's time to let this guy go. I just tend to believe that he does allow his coaches to coach. He does step in when he needs to, but I will always say I don't think everything that goes wrong with a team is on their head coach. That's why y'all have heard me say repeatedly, even those teams that sucks and they hiring a new coach every year. What do I say? Y'all need to stick with the coach for a while and let him build this thing. I just think it's such a results-driven situation that, you know, it's funny. No, I didn't hear nobody say to fire him at 7-4. And again, I don't care that it's Tomlin. I'm just saying in general. But like I said, y'all have your opinion about Tomlin. I'm not going to debate it. Area code 973. What you got for us?
What's good, Sam?
What's going on, brother?
I can't call it. I would like to address the elephant in the room. Well, I think my personal opinion, I gave Kenny Pickett a lot of chances. I just really don't think that he's what we need as a franchise quarterback. And with Mike Tomlin, everybody always talks about, like, I know when you always saying about when somebody don't mention about Mike Tomlin, it's explaining. Well, my thing is with Mike Tomlin, clock management, 12 men on the field, and then Sim, think about it. When the last playoff game has Mike Tomlin won? 2016 with the Killer Bees against Kansas City Chiefs with Alex Smith. It's 2023 now. As a Steelers fan, I watch every Steelers Super Bowl from '74. It's 5 organizations that is used to win. New England, Pittsburgh, Dallas, 49ers, and Giants. Anything else besides confetti and lifting that Vince Lombardi trophy up is a failure. It's only one happy team at the end of the year. And sometimes, 17 years, sometimes change is good. And I think we should draft a quarterback. You have a good night.
Hey, man, thanks for calling. Like I said, 17 years is a long time. I don't think nobody can argue that. Even people who love Mike Tomlin, 17 years is a long time. So I am not opposed to new coaching. I just don't feel like it's the head coach completely why the Steelers are what they are currently. That's all I'm saying. So what happens if a new coach comes in and we go 1-15? What y'all say then? 1-16 or whatever. I'm just curious to see how. This is what I'm saying. I would love to see that situation if I'm being funny, and see how many people will fire that guy after one season. Because if it happens, right? If Tomlin is not extended after next season, or somehow, let's say they pull a fast one and they fire him, and the new coach has a trash record, I guarantee, without a doubt, that some of the same people in chat or people in general and just fans will say to fire that coach after one season. That's my point. So I want y'all to understand, my point is never about Mike Tomlin protecting him. I do think as largely Mike Tomlin is a good coach. He has warts, like many coaches. In 17 years of seeing the same face, yeah, that could, that's very stagnant. That's fatigue in the viewer's eyes. I get it. But I'm telling you, I think some people just go off of wins, losses. Like my man just said, I respect that, but he said, man, it's about winning championships. But dog, that is not an easy thing. The Steelers have the most championships, or tied for the most. So think about that for that moment as a fan. They are tied for the most Super Bowls ever. We're talking 2 teams that have 6. 2 in all these years. A couple with 5. So that's all I'm saying is our fan expectation is high, and I get it, but I'm just saying when we strip all that away, I want to read y'all something real quick, then I'll take a few more calls. Because I like to do stuff live, because I'm the type of person that I can accept criticism, I can accept disagreements and all that. So I share everything with y'all. And this is what I want to read. And I'm going to read the name because I want to know who you are. So Mr. 3 Black Op on Twitter or X says to me today, good morning. He says, I know you don't like listening to your viewers' opinions or agreeing with them, but our Steelers have too many holes to fill. QB is always going to be the fall guy. Offensive line, wide receiver, OC, someone that can teach and coach play calling. I am a KP8 fan. He does this, and he says, is the future. So I just want to address the first part of this. He says, I don't listen to viewers' opinions or agree with them. Very false. So when I wrote that back to him, here's the reply that I got. He says, what I mean is some callers you agree and some you don't. And some you choose not to interact with their negative comments. And that's understandable because it's your podcast. But we can say something we're going to agree on, something we're not going to agree on. Guys, is that exactly what he said there? Is that not what I do? Duh. I agree with some people. Some people I disagree. And when the comments are extremely negative, I don't pay it no attention. Does any of y'all find a problem with that? What is he talking about? But anyway, let's take the next caller. Area code. Who's next? Who was next? 951, I believe. Or was it 313? I think it was 313. What you got for us?
Hey, what's going on, Sim? This your boy from Detroit, just giving my love, 2 cents in on everything. Okay, you're right. A lot of the stuff you said tonight, I do agree with. But bottom line, what's going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers is the coaching staff that Mike Tomlin employs, they must come up to the curve. My point was, and I said to you and Kenya a long time ago about when Mike Munchak left, I said that's going to be the beginning of the end, how our offense that we're talking about right now that can't score points in them trenches is going to come back to hunt us. I remember when you started calling Big Al Villanueva Little Al because when Mike Chuck left, his play declined. Same thing with Fiedner. He turned Kevin Beecham into a free agent. Everybody who came on that line, he will coach them up, and Ben them was still able to put up the type of production we used to. This was the blow that everybody is dealing with. When he left, when we bought in Kendrick Green, when we bought in Dotson, them guys did not get coached up right. You getting these things happen where now Kenny Pickett, he got happy feet because he got hurt, 4 times already? Now, when you get damaged like that as a quarterback, if you play football, you're gonna be. It's just like a chain reaction now. It's hard to get back to because like you said, you got to stand in that fan and be able to take that heat. This is what makes to separate the real good quarterback from the other ones. You got to be one to get hit. You got to have that moxie to say, I don't care if you come like this. That's what we all loved about Ben Roethlisberger. You can hit Ben gonna come back and be like, okay, let's do this then. Okay, gloves on, let's go. This is the type of people that played with the Steelers in the past. That's how Bradshaw was. I'm 55. I've seen all that stuff too. And here it is. Mike Tomlin is the winningest African-American coach in the NFL history. Y'all going after the hardest position for a black coach to even survive, because as soon as you do something, even go negative, you're going anyway. But everybody's going for Mike's head. Appreciate what you got when you got it. You got to hold up your own, even when it's not in good times. That's in anybody's life. I hope y'all really take time out and look at that and then realize he has done something that no other African-American coach has done. That's all I got for you, Steelers fans. I'm out. Thank you.
Man, I'm going to give 313 from Detroit a round of applause. That was an excellent call right there. Excellent call, and I'm going to reply quickly. Let me first disarm some of you who are going to take what he said lastly out of context. He's not making this a race thing. He's simply stating what an African-American coach has been able to do, which we know they're far and few between in the NFL. He's not making it racy. You know how I know that? Because what did he say first? He's praising Mike Munchak. Last time I checked, Mike Munchak wasn't African-American. So I want to stop some of y'all that, because people take things out of context. Oh, why is he making it racy? It's not a racy thing. He's just making an observation. But he did say about Mike Munchak years ago, and I will say this. We have seen some decline. Cannot deny that. I still will say is I don't think it's entirely due to that, if that makes sense. I definitely think the offensive line went through some changes. But what's funny, man, is we've seen, spurts of the offensive line coming together and playing well. The end of the season last year, kind of around this point now, you're seeing that they're blocking better, even in the run game. Now, in pass protection, we got a couple young guys, Broderick Jones. Yeah, he's going to need a little more time to mature with his pass blocking. And Dan Moore, whatever we feel about him, and so I will say I don't think the complete downfall of what we're seeing as a result from Munchak, but I definitely agree that it probably did take a hit. I could definitely look back now and say probably did take a hit. When you lose a good coach like that, you feel the effects. So I appreciate that call, man. Let's see. What else do we got? Let's take a few more. Sorry, I won't get to them all. My bad. I think 951 is actually next now. Let's see. 951, what you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Sam? Thanks for taking my call, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just a real quick question I got for you, kind of observation I saw. I know you were at the game on Sunday. After the rain delay, when they finally came back, did it seem to you that Steelers defense, Terrell Austin was sending the blitz a little too heavy, sending some defensive backs, just sending some guys that it was clear to me that once the Steelers started sending some pressure, man, Kyler Murray, he was able to have enough vision to see that and get the ball into the single coverage, man. And don't get me wrong, I like JPJ, but I don't think our defensive backs right now are in a position where we can leave them on an island by themselves and expect them to make a play on the ball. Because there were several plays where our defender was there. It was kind of good coverage, but when it came time to knocking that ball out, man, we were there, but just not all the way there yet. So I just didn't know if you noticed, it seemed like they were kind of sending the blitz and to go along with that, man. Teams have been able to adjust against us when it comes to that. It just seemed like we have a good ability, man, to make the necessary adjustments and maybe don't send all the defensive backs. And like you said earlier, keep Minka's behind back there. He's one of the best. He's the best coverage person we have back there. Him outside of JPJ. If we're sending all these guys, man, we got practice squad guys back there that are getting burnt and toasted. So just want to know what your observations was that, or if you noticed that on Sunday. That's all I got.
Man, thanks for the call, and I will, honestly say, you giving me something to look for on the 22 now, because I noticed the blitzing. But I can honestly say I didn't really chart it to say if it was too much. But now, looking at specific plays, I'll be able to see it. But you did remind me of something. And I said this on the post-game show, and I've said this in the past. I am sick and tired of seeing them blitz Minka. Why do we keep doing that? There were times Sunday where Minka was pretty much playing in the slot. That's how he was lined up. And I get it. He's versatile. He can move around. He's a chess piece. I get it. But it's funny because that's the main thing that he said he didn't want to do when he left Miami, right? And I will say Kenyon kind of walked me off the ledge a little bit because when I explained it to him, he said, it could have been different factors as to why they did that in the game, because guys like I almost said his name. Guys like number 23 can't really play in the box, and Trenton Thompson can't. They're a little more, they're not as big as Minka, and I get it. But even with understanding that, I still am baffled as to why they have chosen to blitz Minka at the rate that they have this year. Y'all remember when I've been saying this on previous shows? Why? If you gonna blitz somebody, why don't you blitz one of the dudes who can't cover as well? Blitz 23. Blitz number 31 when he was out there. And that right there, I have to ask the question to Terrell Austin and Mike Tomlin. See, there's things that I would love to know too from Coach. And I'm not just going to be a complete results-driven guy and say, oh, well, I'm only mad when it doesn't get home. No, I'm going to stick to, well, why do y'all do that? And maybe if they explained it, then I might say, oh, okay. Because again, I'm not an NFL coach. But I just know that Minka is a post safety. He plays the best back there. He's a center fielder. So why would you ever take him out of that, especially when people have beat us in the middle of the field and down the seam? Why would you take him out of that? But does that mean that my opinion of the head man as the coach changes? No. That's just something that I'm like, I'm curious why they do that. Next, Area 318. What you got for us?
Well, what's up, Bunk? You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
What's up, y'all? I got to show love to both teams, even though Pittsburgh don't deserve it. But here's a question you asked earlier. What makes you feel confident about the offense? I mean, we are moving the ball way better than what Canada had going on. It's just I feel like if we can score in the red zone, it'll be much better. If we get in there, just I don't know, we just dialing up the wrong plays. I'm just like, why would you have Najee and shotgun doing that? I'd rather have a QB sneaker, throw it to one of them big boys. But we could just score in the red zone. It's just, and then with Kenny Pickett too, I see things in him. Like, I'm not ready to give up on him yet because it's like he's not God. He's not out there playing like Nathan Peterman, but he's not playing like Mahomes either. So it's just like he can play better, but it can be worse too. That's how and it's just just an overall game. Yeah, it's just like I know it's cliche. It's just like I hate to say that Arizona wanted it more, but hey, they came in there and just dropped their draws in the middle of Heinz Field, man. And it was like this one last thing. After that 99-yard drive, man, I was just like, yeah, that took the air out the game for me, man. I was just like, this is gonna be one of them games. All right, now y'all have a great night.
Man, thanks for the call, man. It's what you said about Pickett, man. If I'm being truthful, I do think there's something there. It's such a crossroads because I just don't know, man. It's like this. Can I say this? And this is going to go along with 318 said. And I want everybody to hear me loud and clear. And I know y'all going to say, yeah, if was a spliff, we all be high. If it was a fifth, we all be drunk. I get it. But I'm just saying, if Kenny Pickett was seeing the field, right? And I'm just talking about ability and him as a quarterback, I wouldn't have many complaints. Because, his accuracy is here and there, but Kenny has made some dime throws. He has made enough throws for me to say, okay, maybe this dude will improve as he goes on. But it's almost like he's missing the layups. I'm telling y'all, man, you guys who are joined to the channel, you're going to see it. The Najee, and you can see it on TV tape. You don't even need the all-22. That play, that 2nd and 3, how do you not see Najee right there? That's your outlet. And everything else is vertical. I want y'all to just take heed of that. All of the other routes are deep verticals. We went back to the Matt Canada route combinations. Everything is deep downfield. And Kenny is like this. Najee right there. Right there. Dog, I wish I would have been recording at that moment because y'all would hear me say, Najee's wide open. The whole section was saying it. Throw it down, check it down. And it's like, and there was another situation. If this might have been the same play. Because No. He threw that ball away. There's another situation that I'm going to show y'all footage of. It was the one when Kenny scrambled to his left. Bruh. The hole is so wide open in the middle of the field, and we have 2-on-1 linemen blocking. If he would have cut up, dog, Kenny had a clear 15, 16 yards to run. I lie to you not. Y'all gonna see it. I just can't remember which play that was, but it was the one where he scrambled. think that was in the first half. Remember, he got pressure. He scrambled to his left, and he went along the sideline, and it ended up being, it might have been on the same drive, but we didn't get the first down. Bruh, all Kenny had to do, I mean, he's looking right at it. I'm like, how do you not see that? All he had to do was cut up. Y'all gonna see it. But I'm just getting worried, man. I'm getting worried that he's just not. If he could fix those things, I think we would be okay with him. Even with him being a little gun shy, because what a throw. What a throw on that play action. Max protection, first drive. And I mean, man, the crowd going crazy. The guy standing in front of me with him and his wife, he stood up. We high-fiving. The young boys that I was sitting beside, there was a couple young guys. They was with their mom and dad too, but they were from New York. I mean, you make friends when you at the game. Some young dudes, man, cool dudes. We was just wrapping it up all game. We all hype. My son hype. My wife like, oh, okay, the offense kind of looking like last week. Like those moments were great. Good setup. Pickett was wide open. I mean, the whole crowd saw it. Throw it to George. Beautiful throw. So that's what I'm saying. He can be a decent quarterback if he could just fix himself. Can you read the field and stop eyeballing? Like, if he could just do that and stop spinning out of the pocket, like panicking in the pocket, we might not be having this conversation. You might be saying, man, he could be better, but we wouldn't be saying that he's trash. It's, to me, these are correctable things. I just don't know if he's going to correct it, man. I don't, because I've seen it too often. So we'll see, man. All right, area code 540. What you got for us?
What's going on, Sim? This is Steel City.
Hey, Steel City. What's up, brother?
So I want to talk about, so we kind of know what this team is at this point in the season, man. We're far enough into it. You know, with only a few games left, I'm still going to root for them. Hopefully we can make the playoffs, maybe even somehow win a playoff game. But I'm really looking forward to the offseason at this point and how we can improve going into next year.
Yeah.
And if we make some cuts and with some restructures this offseason, we can have up to about $90 million in cap space that we can spend on this defense.
Wow.
And one thing I want to say about the defense in terms of its system, they run a lot of they run almost the same stuff no matter what. Cover 3, Tampa 2, cover 1, and they'll run some type of pressure in key situations, which is something Tomlin's done since he got here. It's something that all the Tony Dungy coaching disciples or from that coaching tree have done. Yep. Pete Carroll does it out there in Seattle. They run a lot of the same stuff, but they're so good at running it, and if they have the right guys in that defense, they can be really good defense, have a really good defense. So I think spending some money on the defense this offseason is going to be important if we make some restructures and some cuts. Also want to say that Minka is better playing closer to the line of scrimmage, which is why they have him playing there rather than playing deep. He's very aggressive, and with how good our pass rush is, if he's playing deep and guarding all of the throws downfield, that's kind of just wasting his ability to guard the throws that are more likely to happen in the middle of the field closer to the line of scrimmage.
Let me say something to that, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. I do like when we buzz Minka. Like, I like when we drop him down, to kind of rob that middle area. So maybe not deep. I'm just not such a fan of him, like, in the box.
Yeah, that's fair. And then other thing I'll talk about the offense is I'm fine if they move on from Kenny Pickett after this year. I think he still could be the guy. And if it was me making the decision, I would roll with him next year with a new OC and with a better offensive line. Mm-hmm. But if they were to trade for a Justin Fields or to trade up and get a guy like in the draft, I wouldn't hate that either. I mean, he's not played well enough that he's deserving of a for sure staying in Pittsburgh, but I would like to see him stay. I think they need to hire an OC from outside the organization because, I mean, they've been hiring from inside, the last 2 OCs they had, and then this year with Faulkner and Sullivan. I think this time they need to get someone from outside, hopefully from the Kyle Shanahan tree. And I want to ask you, Sim, who have been the best 2 quarterbacks rookie quarterbacks in the last 2 years.
Rookies. I know I'm going to miss somebody, but I might have to say, well, he's not a rookie anymore. I was going to say Purdy. Wait. No.
Yeah, from last year.
Yeah, it was last year, so that counts. Who else is a rookie? Who am I forgetting? I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon. CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
There
so both of those guys right now are playing in Kyle Shanahan's offense. With I think Solik is his name from Houston, and then obviously Purdy playing in with Kyle Shanahan in that kind of West Coast offense. So I would like to see if we could hire someone from that coaching tree, and it'd be interesting to see if Tomlin can use his relationship with Raheem Morris, who he's a big fan of, and also worked with him on that Tampa Bay staff in the early 2000s because he coaches with the Rams as their DC. So and obviously McVay runs a very similar offense to Shanahan. So it'd be interesting if he could use that to maybe steal someone from the Rams coaching staff. That's all I think I have, other than saying that the system would not be the only thing that would change with obviously a new coaching staff and new OC, but also the development of players would also need to improve and would improve if you have better and new coaches, including Kenny Pickett. That's all I have, Sim. Thank you for having my call.
Man, Steel City, of course, man. I appreciate you tuning in and calling in, man. You know, I've watched Steel City for a long time, man. So, you know, mutual respect there. So definitely wanted to give him time to talk. He knows his football. You know, hence the name. And he's correct. He's correct. I didn't really pay attention to that as far as Stroud, as far as the system. But clearly, you know, y'all know I had been saying about Purdy, and I wasn't knocking Purdy in his last season, but I was saying, I mean, he's kind of a product of the system. Last year, he didn't really take a lot of shots. They didn't ask him to. Did a little more this season. But, and, you know, he's playing great enough for him to earn, like, okay, he's nice. But I definitely think that the system, particularly last year, highlighted his skills, which it should. So there's something to be said, and I really like what Steel City said, man, when he said, listen, I wouldn't be mad if they moved on for Kenny Pickett, but actually if it was me, I would like to see what he does with another OC. And guys, that's just, don't take this wrong, guys, when I say this. That's just a logical and a level-headed way of approaching it, right? It's like this microwave culture that we're in, and it ain't just sports, but everybody wants it like this. And it's like, I mean, at least see what it did we completely miss on the pick? I'm talking as an organization. Did we completely miss on this dude, or is it, let's see, can we get something out of him with the next OC? And that's the logical thing to do. You give him that third season, which everyone knows and who are Steelers fans, the magical third year. And if it just don't work out in year 3, that's when you move on. But like he said, I wouldn't be opposed if they decide they're ready to move now. I mean, okay. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Last call of the night, man. Area code 937. What you got for us?
Oh, I actually got through. What's up, Phil?
What's going on, brother?
What's up? You know this is by my voice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What's been going on, man?
You remember one thing, baby?
How you been?
It's Johnny. It's been a minute, man. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I got you, man. I can hear you.
Man, hey, much love, man. Much love. Steelers for life, man. I always excited about my Steelers, man. I want to talk about the quarterback situation. And I'm the type of guy that, I believe in giving people time and everything to develop. And that's really who I am, man. I'll give him a minute. I'll give you a minute. But like you said, man, Kenny ain't seeing the field, man. Wide open guys and such. And here's my thing. He always does that roll out to the left, and the pocket is clean. The pocket is clean, man. Be cool. Trust. He doesn't trust his offensive line. Trust offensive line and step up in the pocket. You rolling out. Every time you roll out, that's when you get hurt, dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You've seen it. You watch film.
Yep.
That's when you get hurt. So my point is, man, it's sad, but it's not a great separation between Kenny, Mitch, and Rudolph. I'm ready to see Rudolph because I'm desperate. I'm desperate as a Steelers fan. Show me something else. It might not even be good, but just show me something else. Man, it reminds me Ben Roethlisberger. When he came in, the defense was tight. And all the pieces, Hines Ward, and all the pieces were available. As a rookie, he went 15-1. I remember that season very well. We need another quarterback, dog. I'm just telling the truth. At this point, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Kenny just needs a little more time. But, man, that's just what I see, dog, you know? And it was heartbreaking. And I tell you, I just talked to Marlon, and I was like, man, I'm done. I ain't done with the Steelers. I just say that. I'm trying to act all hard.
Yeah.
Hey, but the truth is, come Thursday, I'm gonna be right in front of the TV, sacrificing my time, knowing I gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning watching these Steelers. You know what I mean? I love them. I love them since I was a toddler, man. And my heart, I just love them. And I don't know, man. But you know what? I realize, too, there's things we don't see. I'm not in the locker room. I'm not in, we're not in the locker room. There's some things we don't know.
Yeah, that's a fact.
There's some things we don't know. But I wouldn't mind seeing Mason, man. But, I believe we'll get to the playoffs and such. But do I think we're going nowhere? No. Don't matter. I still love my Steelers. Do I think we'll? No. It'll just mean an extra week of Steelers football to me. Can you feel me?
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that. But Super Bowl, no, because that's our standard. We are the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Super Bowl is the standard. So we got to get this together, man. And I know Kenny hurt and everything, man. He was hurt previously. That was, a previous injury, man. And I mean, I get that, but still, man, you be missing. I'm not in there throwing that ball, man. I know it's tough. It ain't easy, but but I don't know, man. We may have to draft another quarterback coming up. That's how I feel about it, man. And maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, like I said. But it's all good, man. Steelers for life, man. I miss y'all. Love y'all, man. I love this. My favorite Steelers show. And take care, Sam. And I'm proud of you, man. It's still my number one Steelers show. I'll be tuning. I'll be watching. You just don't know it. But much love, man. God is good, and Steelers for life, man. No matter what, baby.
Yes, sir, man. Johnny, man, appreciate you calling in. It's good to hear from you, man. I figured you had been watching. But, I'll share a real moment with y'all really quick. The way the world is nowadays, man, and, life happens fast. So sometimes when I don't see you guys, sometimes, I'm just be wondering when so-and-so is that, just making sure you still breathing. You know what I mean? Like, that's real. I don't want to get morbid, but, so it's definitely good to hear from you, see you. Appreciate you, man. Like always. And nothing that you said was wrong. Like I said, guys, a lot of times I say, man, hey, we got to be patient, yada, yada, yada. But I understand the urgency. When you see guys like C.J. Stroud, you see the success Brock Purdy is having, and just even other quarterbacks that are relatively young. Even though he was a better prospect, you see how Joe Burrow hit the scene, and where he's at now. Fortunate for him, he got injured. But when you see that type of success, you see what this kid Browning did. Was it a fluke game? I don't know. And, he's older. He's been in the league. He's just not a starter. But when you see guys like that able to at least have a game, and Kenny has yet to have a game like that, it brings in, reason to question. But also understanding that part of it was Matt Canada. Like, I'm not going to lose sight of that, but it does give you reason for being like, So I understand it. I understand. and even with Ben came in like trailblazing, like gangbusters. It came in rolling, but we cannot compare that success, man, because Ben is a Hall of Fame QB, So are we gonna get that lightning in the bottle again? I don't know. After what he gave us 18 years, so see what I'm saying? It's like it's tough on us because we're used to seeing quality football. And some of you guys who are older, gals as well, y'all saw the 70s Steelers. I didn't have the pleasure to see those teams live, but that's what you're used to. And then in the 2000s, right, the early 2000s, we get to 3 Super Bowls pretty much. You win 2, they lost 1, so we're used to that. But, it's hard. I think it's hard. You got to have the right pieces, man. So I'm not upset or mad at anyone saying that they need to go another direction. But at the same time, I think as fans, we do kind of have to, go through the transition. Like I said, my biggest disappointment with these Steelers of recent years was the Killer Bee era. That was the one golden era where I thought, we going to get us another bowl, man. When you think about the game when Ben threw 12 touchdowns and back-to-back 6 and 6, 12 touchdowns in 2 weeks. Crazy. We putting up crazy numbers. We got crazy talent in Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant. I mean, it was, and our defense was trash. So if I have any disappointment in the Mike Tomlin era, if I'm being frank and real with y'all, I'm just talking about his career. That's the era. Because I thought that was the one. Can y'all imagine having that kind of offense? And I'm not even going to say this year, but just imagine how the defense played last year. Or, the year when TJ, was that last year? I don't even remember. When TJ tied the record. Imagine that defense with all them takeaways. Or when we were averaging, we were leading the league back to back with sacks. Imagine the Killer Bee offense with that defense. No question we get one. In that 4-year span, if we had any kind of defense, even our current defense that has held teams relatively low for the most part this year, if we had the Killer Bee offense with that, I would definitely feel like in a 4-year span, we getting at least one of them. But it just didn't work out like that, man. It just sucks. But yeah, man, and that's why I said largely, man, we have to kind of be grateful for the team that we've had over this 16 and a half or 17-year run, but it's unfortunate that we don't have more bowls. It's unfortunate. So that's all I got, man. But I'm going to say one last thing just to kind of give a prefix of what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Y'all think Bill Belichick ain't pay attention to that inside linebacker position and the matchup nightmare that McBride was? Hunter Henry, Mike Gesicki. However you feel about those players, do they have the ability to perform like McBride did? I'm a little concerned. I'm going to say this tonight, and I'll say it tomorrow when I upload the video. This is, to me, a must-win game, bro. This is a must-win. Because on paper, had the Steelers won Sunday and you expect them to win Thursday, they sitting at 9-4 after those 2 games. They almost a lock. You would expect them to at least win another game. And I still think 10 wins is the goal, right? So the Steelers basically got to go, they got to go 3 or 5. I feel like out of these next 5 games, they got to win 3 of them. I think if they get to 10 wins, just looking at how the AFC is shaking, they'll make it. But what do we do once we get there? This offense just scares me. I'm going to just leave it at that. This offense does not produce enough points. They have not done it the entire season. I am scared. So, a few comments, man, then I'm going to shake. What y'all got? How many people think Belichick is trash? But you see he's on the hot seat. Players matter. Players definitely matter. I'm agreeing with that. Gabe Hilliard says, have a good night, Steeler fam, and Sim, my guy, stay blessed. Appreciate that. Stay blessed, my brother. And like Johnny said earlier, God is good, man. Destiny says, I'm going to be sick if we lose for real. Big time embarrassing. Almost worse than losing to the Browns. Yeah, Destiny. If the Steelers let's just put it out there. If they lose consecutive games to 2-10 teams, I am the biggest component and advocate of any given Sunday, but bruh. Kenny or no Kenny, they ain't scored no points against the Chargers, and the Chargers defense ain't great. But New England's defense scares me a bit. Steelberg says this Thursday game will be a game of coaching. Yeah, it always is. And here's the funny thing. Most people didn't give Tomlin and crew credit for beating New England the year when Joe Hayden got that interception on Tom. You know, people just always talk about how the Patriots own the Steelers, but they never give credit for when we actually put a good plan together. That's interesting. And the funny thing is people always compare Tomlin to Belichick. Well, Belichick is that one in a lifetime. Him and Brady went on an amazing run. But after that, I'm going to just be honest. After that, who are the next 5 coaches in most of you guys' tenure? Or let's say since the last 20 years, who are the next 5? Where does Tomlin fall in that? And again, you can take his name off of it as far as it being personal to the Steelers or even your attachment to Tomlin. Who are the top 5 in the last 20 years, like consistent careers? There's Belichick. There's Andy Reid. There's Mike Tomlin, in my opinion. If you want to throw Sean Payton in there, because he got him a Super Bowl in that span. Who else? Give me somebody else. Because some of the newer coaches, I can't put them in that yet because they haven't done it long enough. Sean McVay was on his way, but he hasn't sustained it. Somebody says, okay, Destiny, I'm feeling that. You might could throw Doug Peterson in there. He's got to do it a little longer, more consecutively. But yeah, let's see what they do this year. Jags looking good, but they just choked one away. Yeah, you got to throw John Harbaugh in there. I agree with that. That's probably the list right there. Andy Reid, Tomlin, Pete Carroll, and Harbaugh. So I just want to say this to my beloved Steeler Nation, my fellow members of Steeler Nation. If these are the only names we can come up with, you got to kind of back away from the bad coach talk. You cannot like everything about Tomlin or what he does or be ready for a replacement. That is 100% fair. But when you can only kind of throw those names in the mix, you see my point? When you look at it for the long duration, it makes a little more clearer picture, right? So, Gavin, that's fair, but me personally, I wouldn't say Harbaugh was overrated. I mean, Harbaugh has basically kept his teams in the mix as well, even though they did have that 5-11 season. Coincidentally, when they went 5-11, they beat Steelers twice. And, you know, Tomlin hasn't had that, but Harbaugh has been in the mix. So he keeps a steady ship. And then you got to respect that. And he got him a Super Bowl. So you got to respect that. So, but that's it. That's all I got, man. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here on that one. And again, I just hope all of you guys, man, my lovely fan, I hate calling y'all fans, but my lovely viewership, my family, a lot of y'all in here tonight, I just want you guys to always understand where I'm coming from. It's not about what I feel about Tomlin or what have you. I just try to state the obvious. It's the criticism that people give to Mike Tomlin is fair. And it's warranted. You know, you can be frustrated after having all those winning seasons, but it don't turn into nothing. The 12-4 seasons and all of that, and the getting the bye week and then losing to Jacksonville. You can definitely be upset because, again, if you're the head, We got to blame you for everything, even though it realistically is not just the head coach. But the criticism is fair. I just try to kind of back people off the ledge when they, you try to say that he's a bad coach or he's trash. And trust me, if we would have experienced a bad coach, our conversation wouldn't even be what it is tonight. Because we would be one of those 3-12 teams or something that is irrelevant. So, we'll see. We'll see. But all right, man, you guys have a wonderful evening. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. And again, if you saw this video or you're watching this video and you liked it, hit the like button. If you like the content, subscribe. But after you do that, turn on the notification so you know when we are live and streaming or there's a pre-recorded production available for your viewing pleasure. Outside of that, have a great night. I will be posting a video tomorrow in regards to the before play, giving my thoughts and keys to victory. I need to go watch, see what New England kind of did against the Chargers and see if I can peep a little bit of that. Also tomorrow night, more than likely, it might be Thursday, but maybe tomorrow night, I might get that all 22 footage out for you guys as well who are members to the channel. So if you want to see that, consider becoming a member of the channel. It is a monthly fee and, pay for it as long as you want. It's $4.99 if you want to join. Those guys and gals do get exclusive content, so the all 22 is there for them. And outside of that, man, I will definitely talk to you guys Thursday night live. That will be my next live show Thursday night, the after play, and hopefully we ain't like this. But all right, man, I'll catch y'all later, man. Stay safe. God bless. Have a great night. Stay healthy. And like always, I thank you guys and gals for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. And I shall catch you in the next one. Peace.